Hello everyone, and welcome. This is Papa Zappa with my third Let's Play, 2008's Mercenaries 2. We'll be playing through the full game. I'm not grabbing every one of the 100 collectibles, of course, but we will do every one of the side missions. We're also going to be playing as Jennifer Mui. Every one of the three characters has a different perk. Jacobs has more ammo, Nielsen, I believe, has more health, and Mui runs faster. So, playing as Mui makes it a lot easier to get around the game world. She runs about 20 miles an hour, I'd say. So for those of you who played Mercenaries 1, this game is quite a bit different. I'd say it's a bit more lighthearted.
Jennifer, good to see you again. It has been a long time since Dakar.
I remember Dakar. I remember you leaving me to fight off an armored division all by myself.
The money dried up. I cut my losses. You should have done the same.
Oh, I got paid. I always get paid.
I need your guns. No one sees the boss up.
Blanco, this is your friend?
Jennifer, this is Ramon Solano. Mr. Solano is the richest man in Venezuela.
I can tell we're going to get along perfectly. What's the contract?
Last week, General Carlos Carmona and his soldiers attempted a coup. A small faction in Carmona's army objected. They captured him and are holding him prisoner.
And you've got some great plan for General Carmona and his army.
I have great plans for Venezuela.
So it's me against a bunch of VZ soldiers.
That's it. Will you accept the contract?
As long as your checks don't bounce.
Welcome to Venezuela.
Solano's paperwork arrived.
So we're good to go.
I've hacked into a CIA satellite.
I can see you and most of the area around you.
I'm working off a laptop connected to
To a cell phone here, so don't expect miracles.
Leave the miracles to me. You just keep me pointed in the right direction.
So we're going to Tutorial Island here.
Carmona's being held captive on that island.
It's fairly well done.
Right, so my first question is, how do I land on a bunch of pointy rocks?
There's a beach just past those rocks. Just pilot your boat right between them.
If it wasn't immediately obvious, we're on the Xbox 360 version.
Hold on a
This
sec.
is my disc of
Having one
Mercenaries
Solano's
2,
helicopter
so
pilots drop in a
there
weapon and
probably
ammo
will
to
be
your
some
current location.
bugs.
I'll put them to good use.
Time to get down and dirty. Venezuelan reinforcements.
One thing
ahead.
I've always
They're ready for
appreciated
you.
about the Mercenaries series
Solano's
is their
paying enough.
commitment
I don't mind getting a little
to
dirty.
settings that aren't usually explored in other games. So, for example, Mercenaries 1 takes place in North Korea and this one is in Venezuela. At the time when this came out, you really didn't get that. There was a lot of games in Russia, there's games in America like the GTA
Let
series.
me take care of that now. I need you to open your PDA so I can sync up your current GPS coordinates. Thanks.
Here's the
Okay,
world
we're
map.
good. That's a new device you've got there, so you might
Fairly
want to
big.
play around with it for a minute and familiarize yourself with its functionality.
Helped me learn some of the geography of Venezuela, on a much smaller scale, of course.
This is Fiona Taylor requesting air support. Uploading coordinates now.
Roger, I'm in the area and ready to deploy on your command.
Okay, we're all set. Call in the strike when you're ready.
Now, calling in things is definitely a mercenary's pastime, and then massive airstrikes is the other one.
That's that.
And this game does
Just point
both
back up
great
from
in
the target
spades.
and get behind some cover.
In fact, pretty much the entirety of the game world is destructible minus the physical environment. So if you see a building, more than likely you can destroy it. And sometimes they encourage you to as well. Now, Mercenaries 1 didn't have an aim down sight system. Well, I guess an aim system. You just really kind of moved around and shot. But this game, if you hold the left trigger,
You're gonna need a set of wheels down
you can
there.
do like a
Reload
slide,
enemies up
and
ahead,
you're
and
crouching, and
I'll
it's
have
slightly more
chopper in a
accurate.
vehicle for you.
The controls are a little weird. You've got LB on grenade, or really explosive, and then RB on reload. Oh, I'm capping. RB is switching weapons. The X button is to reload. A being jump is quite standard. B for melee. The Halo 2 melee there. And then Y to get in and out of vehicles.
You're all set. Head to the next location I've marked, and I'll keep looking for Carmona.
Another fairly unique feature of the Mercenaries series is the ability to go undercover whenever you're in a faction's vehicle, because they have a faction system in this one and the last one. So I'm in a Venezuelan vehicle, so normally, if I weren't in the tutorial, if I stayed in it long enough without being detected, they would consider me Venezuelan. And the way you break detection is by either honking, like I just did, or or if you just oh well, you could also kill someone like of a faction, run them over. I don't think they'd like that.
Excellent.
And if you just park next to them for long enough, it'll do it too. So let's kill Mr. RPG guy up here.
Need to take out the
Yeah, at least get him out of the way. That way we can call in an airstrike without a problem.
Air support is on the way.
This game does introduce QT. No, wait, there was already QTEs in Mercenaries 1.
Great work. The road up ahead is going to be pretty tough, so I'm going to have one of Solano's men chopper in a tank for you.
Well, if
They're not really annoying. I'd say they're done fairly tastefully. Just because they're pretty much only for hijacking vehicles, sans one exception at the very end of the game. It's quite silly, as some people I've seen point out. And, you know, I agree with them. But this game, like I said before, definitely has a lighter tone than its older brother, Mercenaries 1. I guess predecessor. What I love about this game, eternally, is the way the vehicles handle it. This is excellent. I played a lot of War Thunder, and it is so much more fun to use a tank in this game than it is in War Thunder for the most part. Just because your tracks aren't on, like, soap. You can actually go over obstacles. There'll be a section later on, I'll show you guys, where you can just drive straight up a mountain with the tank. And that's not realistic, but it is fun. I'll say that much. I can't think of too many other games that allow you to do that. Also, just driving through the shanty town is pretty sick. Oh, bad call, brother.
Inside that complex.
It's kind of interesting going from, if you guys played GTA like San Andreas or GTA 4 to this, vehicles having an ammo limit is certainly different. Oh, and if you're curious, the Jaguar tank, this is an AMX 30, but what makes it different is the fact that it's got a disc mounted, so a DSHK, 12.7mm machine gun, rather than its traditional FN machine gun. It's like 7.62, I think, another 50 cal. Also, you can tell that that is the model, the AMX 30, not the 1972, but it's the one with the 50 cal as a coaxial instead of instead of a 20mm. Alright, and with that, we've completed the tutorial.
Who the hell are you?
I'm Mui.
Where's the rest of your team?
I'm the complete package.
So you're a merc. He knows a good deal when he sees it. Let's get the hell out of here.
Jennifer, welcome back. Job well done.
Just like old times. Me doing all the work, you nowhere to be seen.
Well, I have the oil. Universal Petroleum will be our
Excuse
first.
me, Mr. Solano.
Ah, Miss Mui, I have another job that needs doing.
First I get paid.
I'm sorry, the job is not for you. The job is you. Tomorrow, General Carmona's troops will roll into the capital, and I will be Venezuela's new leader.
You should have just paid me the money. I love money.
This means there will be many bounties on my head. I can't have your friends hunting me. It's bad for business.
So's this. Now I have to kill you.
Sorry, Jane.
You piece of...
There!
After orchestrating what analysts are already referring to as a military coup, General Carmona invited billionaire entrepreneur Ramon Solano to act as the civilian leader of an interim...
Jen, please, sit down.
She can. She got shot in the ass.
Trust you to be looking at my ass.
We're leaving Venezuela tonight.
Nope.
Solano controls the army now. It's not safe to operate here.
You're right, it's not safe, because I'm here and I am pissed off.
Yeah, no one shoots her in the ass and gets away with it.
He didn't pay her. The worst thing it could have done.
I'm being told now that Ramon Solano is giving a press conference. Let's join that in progress.
It is time the Venezuelan people stop paying for the greed of foreign interests. We will make them pay dearly for our oil. From this day forward, everybody pays.
Oh yes, everybody pays. Blanco, Carmona, you.
Viva Venezuela!
Everybody pays.
Reports continue to flood in from Venezuela, where billionaire industrialist Ramon Solano has seized...
Caracas has become a military installation.
Solano's the first person to effect change who's not a general or a...
All eyes now turn to the Latin American capital, which possesses an estimated one-third of the world's strategic oil reserve.
The oil revenues should be going to the people. It belongs to them.
It's them. It doesn't matter how you spin it. This Carmona guy is the one on top right now. Very much everybody's
These people have suffered poverty and injustice through administration after administration.
Violence broke out between longtime guerrilla factions, the People's Liberation Army of Venezuela, and Solano's troops, led by General...
They're not opposed to Solano. They're opposed to anyone running the country but them. It's not martial law. It's a curfew. We have curfews in America.
LAV released a statement condemning Solano's coup and calling upon the international community to reject
If it wasn't for Venezuela's oil, nobody would be paying attention to this
The new
guy.
administration moved into the government's offices in Caracas today, flanked by a military escort led...
Tell me
by
that
General
profit isn't being made at the expense of the people.
President Solano, meanwhile, promised to throw his own considerable resources behind his programs to turn Venezuela into, as he put it, a South American superpower.
The oil belongs to you, the people, and from now on, you will profit from it.
Definitely reminds me of the Great War on Terror. Both Mercenaries 1 and Mercenaries 2, I believe, are a commentary on that. Especially considering Mercenaries 1 had the Deca 52
I
featured,
just want
which
to go on record as
was a
saying
real
I think this is
thing
a mistake.
in
Yona, if you
Great
want to
War on
leave,
Terror.
go ahead. I can get Solano on my own.
Now, driving in this game is really cool. It's one of the only games where driving with the A button is satisfying, just because of, I think it's really how good the handling is more than anything.
Alright, if we're gonna do this, let's do it right. We need a base of operations. Let's go steal Solano's villa.
Depending on the bike, you can also
Solano
wheelie.
is. He evacuated his villa.
Don't know
I'm
if you
sure
can
he's keeping
stop
an eye on
E.
it. This will be a great
Yeah,
way
kinda.
to send him a message.
I'll send him a message. Dear Solano, you're dead. Love, Jennifer.
Alright, let's go take care of Solano.
Turn left here.
At least his villa. Oh! The ragdoll in this is also pretty good. I don't know if it's quite as spectacular as Red Dead Revolver. It's nice. So to switch between explosive types, you're going to press left and right on the D-pad. Because up and down is reserved for scrolling through your call-in menu, which we do not have access to at the moment, but we will pretty soon.
God, I hate being on the wrong end of the 50 cal.
One mission from now. We'll use C4 to get through the gate. There we go. Problem solved. Well, okay, that's
Ruined my jacket.
not quite problem solved. Uh-oh. So this game has like a mixture of regenerating health and a health pool, or well, health points, which I think is cool. I personally am more of a fan of regenerating health than I am of health packs.
Normally I'm opposed to looting, but in the case of a multi-million-dollar villa owned by the guy who shot me in the ass, I'll make an exception. And actually,
Even if it does make every character feel a little like Wolverine, or at least someone with the healing factor. And since we brought up Wolverine, I might as well ask everybody for the question for today's episode. Who's everyone's favorite X-Men?
it's never shoes.
There's quite a few that I like. I'd probably say Storm is my favorite though. Just offhand.
I'm coming for him.
I've always been a fan of lightning powers. Now, we are going to grab this RPG here. As far as anti-vehicle weapons go, the RPG is cheap, it's plentiful, and incredibly efficient. You're going to be able to find it pretty much everywhere you go.
Easy troops.
Let's take this iguana here. Yeah, basically none of the vehicles in this game have their real name. So if I do know what they are, I'll let you know if they have a real life counterpart. And if I know it. Thankfully, most of the tanks and the helicopters I got a pretty good grip on. In fact, this game is a large reason why I even bothered playing War Thunder, beyond my interest in historical tanks. Getting to see some of those Cold War things is really cool. Yeah, another thing about this game, it's not like GTA. They do not care for you killing civilians. There really isn't like a penalty for it. I think they fail you eventually if you kill with like you massacre like 100 of them. But a little like Ghost Recon Wildlands, where they pay lip service to the idea of not killing civilians. They don't really punish you that bad for it. And if you're curious, it is very unlikely there will be a playthrough of Ghost Recon Wildlands on this channel. Just, I liked the game single player somewhat. It reminded me of this game, kind of. But the problem with it, oh, we may die here just because we're in a really awkward spot. It really boils down. Oh yeah, like I said, just get gunned down by a machine gun. Oh, hey, at least the first death was fast. You know what you're in for. Let's see. Oh yes, Wildlands. Oh, and don't mind the controller reconnecting. I used a wire, or I use a wired controller, and the wire is a little wonky.
Protect his villa. He probably wanted to make sure the locals didn't loot the place.
Normally,
so yeah, Wildlands is okay in single player, like a 6 or 7 out of 10. But in co-op, it's like a 2 out of 10. The servers are horrible. Nothing loads in. It was just a mess. I played it with 2 friends.
Send more troops.
Count Vason and John 12-inch. Made me never want to play it again, pretty much.
You picked the wrong side.
Now, unfortunately, because we did die, we're going to have to go through here and kill every one of these HUTs again. try that again, shall we? So enemies that are going to be doing a lot of damage to you that you need to prioritize dealing with. Anyone with an RPG is a threat. Sustained automatic fire does do damage to you, but it's not that big a deal. Tanks, certainly a big threat. Those machine guns that gunned me down the first time, yeah, definitely watch for those a bit. Oh yeah, and try not to fall into that pool. I think that was a big reason why we failed last time. Alright, got him that time. Now we gotta go back over here. It's a little funny when they dispatch themselves. Some melee. I feel like it's a little easier to use the melee in this than it is in Red Dead Revolver. Like, if the enemies move at all, there's no chance your melee is gonna hit. Whereas in this, it kind of tracks them a little bit.
Carmona's troops are a joke.
So yeah, this is a 2008 game.
What do I get?
That year, it would have been competing with Call of Duty World at War, Ninja Gaiden 2, and Halo Wars are like some of the games I can think of that came out that year.
Hurry up! I'm on a 1200 baud modem
Oh,
here.
and I think 007 Quantum of Solace also came out that year, which I mentioned previously as being mediocre. And it was either Gears of War, I think Gears of War 2 also came out in 2008. Of those, pretty much only Ninja Gaiden 2 I prefer to this game.
Okay, that does it
But
for
that's
the
just
estate
because
route.
Ninja Gaiden 2
Seeing
is
some
one of my
activity inside
all-time
the villa.
favorites,
Go
and
check it
you
out.
can guarantee there will be a Ninja Gaiden
Must
2
be joking.
playthrough on this channel.
What's going on?
I don't
Is there
know
any
when,
resistance
but
inside?
there will be
There's
for
kind
sure.
of a tank in here.
If you hijack it, that should help even the odds.
So yeah, this is where the QTs really come in. They're pretty doable. For a kid me, some of the later helicopter ones and tank ones are pretty tough, but just mash the button a bit
That was it.
when it comes up if they
Wait,
tell you to
I've got
mash.
contacts
It's
closing
really
into
entirely
all
possible.
sides.
Fools rush in.
So now we need to take care of the bodyguards in the palace here, I guess, mansion.
That's it! They're
All right, we
running
got
and
'em.
fleeing in terror. One evacuated Spanish villa secured. Contract complete.
It's our villa now.
Right, so this is our place. First things first, we need money.
I know. I'm looking for contracts right now. It looks like Universal Petroleum has some contracts available.
Universal Petroleum.
Huge oil company. They own all the derricks in the area.
They're run by someone named Ruben.
Yeah, Lorraine Rubin. How'd you know?
I know where Blanco is.
Look at that. She deals with Blanco. And if we find Blanco,
We find Solano.
So it's taking a little bit of the same revenge approach as Red Dead Revolver, where we're going to look for the lieutenants first and then get to the big bad at the end.
all right, ready to get to work? We can talk about how we make contact with Universal Petroleum. Also, it might be a good idea to practice some of your basic...
Alright, let's talk about Universal.
I've done some research on that American oil company that Blanco is involved with. They're called Universal Petroleum. Before Solano took over, they had exclusive rights to drill for oil and only gave the Venezuelan government a ridiculously small cut. Good business.
For the oil company.
Yeah, not so good for the Venezuelans. UP maintains several guarded compounds down the road in the city of Maracaibo. They signed a deal with Tactical Solutions for private military support, but those mercs are all low rent. Solving some problems for UP senior executive here, Dr. Lorraine Rubin, should show them how much more useful we can be.
Alright, first contract for Universal Petroleum coming right up.
I'm marking the location
Now,
of the guy
this
who
is
hijacked
Fiona's
the
car.
gun
You're
shipment.
probably tempted to take
They've been
it,
looking
but if
for
it
these
gets
guns for
destroyed,
days,
you lose
and
some
you
money,
found them
and she
in
gets
5
mad.
minutes.
So of course we're gonna take
I
it.
have skills with a Z. You can set a route with your PDA's GPS.
Left
I'll
trigger
walk
is
through
gonna
it.
let you handbrake.
You need to be looking at your PDA.
I think
to
the
set
X button
GPS.
also does it. Yeah. Oh, it's really funny. She gets mad at you
I'll send the PDA.
for not using your PDA here, even though like there's a yellow marker telling you where to go. Doesn't take a
You need
genius
to be
to
looking at your PDA to set
drive
GPS.
there. Or leave this a little back so it doesn't get blown up. Oh, I'm gonna drive into the water. Oh, don't do that. You're good? Spooky.
Fill the truck.
Alright, so we're not even really worried about these guys surrounding it. We just want the truck with the guns. And I don't care if I get one gun in. So, or well, I only need one rather.
Great.
It's only 10,000.
Get him to the UP.
So the soundtrack in this game kind of goes for a orchestral sort of thing.
You know, try and drive like a normal person.
It's
If you bang that truck
pretty
up,
mid,
it'll
honestly.
stop.
It's not my favorite. There's a couple tracks here and there that are pretty cool. Like the promotional song that plays at the end of the game is really good.
The
And then
VP
there's
called in for reinforcements.
a song that plays when you're testing out a monster truck later. It's alright.
You're being followed.
Other than that, it sounds so much like the original Mercenaries soundtrack in this particular track.
There go a few more.
So one thing I know about this game that's really sad is that upon looking up all the people involved in it, none of them liked making this game. They hated it, and they, more than anything, they I don't know. That's pretty much it. Yeah, they didn't like it. No one really did anything after making this game either. Really sad for me to find that out, considering how much I adore this. There's a really good variety of vehicles, good variety of weapons, 3-player characters, but you don't switch between them like GTA 5, so it's not annoying.
You're insured, right?
Alright, there we go.
Nice haul. Yeah, we'll need those guns.
Good job. Now go talk to Dr. Rubin.
Too damn hot in this country.
Excellent.
I found your missing guns. Now I'd like to talk to Dr. Rubin.
Who's asking?
My name's Mui. Your boss wants to speak to me.
Oh, right. You're the Merc Solano shot in the ass. Hey, thanks for the guns. But Dr. Rubin, you know, she's got us. Maybe she don't need you.
After recovering the weapons you boys lost, I don't think she'd be very happy to learn that you turned me down.
Tell you what, do us one more solid, and I'll buzz you in.
I'm listening.
We need you to retrieve some high-end equipment. Classified tech, can't say much. The eggheads at our satellite facility whipped it up. Just get over there and tell them you're there for the Devastator. Bring it here, and we're square.
I think I finally understand why the people who really like Mercenaries 1 sometimes do not like Mercenaries 2 after listening to that cutscene. It has become clear to me. The moment of clarity is here. the tone is so different from Mercenaries 1. I'm just thinking back
To jump through for these idiots.
to the last time I played it, and like there are missions where you protect reporters on their way to like check out war crimes in North Korea, and like the silliest thing that happens is like there's a super massive artillery gun that you have to destroy, but they play it straight. In this one, they know they're silly. It's not quite like MCU quip tier, but they're definitely a little silly in this. And I think it does a good job of not being overbearing. Oh, be careful of the recoilless rifle. Are you guys ready for some Kung Fu treachery? This is a classic right here. Oh man, oh man, this awesome tank from Thailand, I'm pretty sure. Nope, it is this little moped thing.
This isn't funny.
Well, I think it's pretty funny.
That's because you don't look like an idiot.
This song too is something else. But you can wheelie in it, which is pretty sick.
Job done. Now quit your bitching and go see Dr. Rubin.
Alright, so around the world there's a bunch of these red containers
Universal Petroleum. You'll find Dr. Rubin in there.
that do various things. Well, not various things. They just unlock weapons for the PMC. You're going to need a mechanic, though, before you can access them.
I must say you're being completely unreasonable. There's over 2,000 people here. How could we possibly get them all out in 6 hours? Listen, why don't we meet and talk about this in person? I can have a car pick you up, we can get a latte, and... Damn.
You got the most expensive haircut here. You must be in charge.
You're the mercenary my security people told me about.
My name's Mui.
Well, I'm glad you're here. This presents a fantastic opportunity. Welcome to Universal Petroleum. I'm Dr. Rubin. Are you available for a contract right now?
Sure, but it'll cost you.
Anything you need, I can provide. I'm here with only one instruction. Keep the oil flowing. I'm empowered to use any and all methods, including you.
You met with someone I'm looking for. A former mercenary they call Blanco.
Blanco. I'm familiar with him. When Solano has bad news for us, he sends Blanco. I had my people try to set up a meeting with him, but apparently he's meeting with some of Carmona's brass later.
Where?
That you're gonna have to find out for yourself. You help me out, and I'll tell you when the meeting's happening. Then you'll just have to find out where. The local guerrillas might know more. They've been after Blanco for a while.
All right, let's hear it.
Mr. Solano is pursuing an aggressive strategy of corporate disincentivization. His men kidnapped my marketing VP, Victor Contreras, and are threatening to kill him if Universal Petroleum doesn't leave Venezuela within the next 6 hours.
6 hours?
I don't think Solano's men are particularly bright. They call me regularly from Victor's cell phone. I'm going to loan you my helicopter pilot, Ewan. Ewan can drop listening posts that allow you to triangulate the kidnapper's location. Find them and rescue Victor. Once you've got him, alive, Ewan can bring him back here.
And you tell me about Blanco's meeting.
I'll tell you when it's happening. Believe me, I want Blanco and Solano taken out as badly as you do.
No, you don't.
You want Blanco, I want Victor back. We'll pay you. Will you accept the contract?
Yes.
Looks like I have no choice. Besides, I get to kill some of Solano's thugs. I'm in.
That tip is not joking around, by the way. Those RPG buildings are pretty spooky, and they will easily take you out. Something we're going to have to keep in mind for when we start doing the outpost missions later.
About the fact that the whole country's collapsed and her employees are being kidnapped.
Why should she worry? She's got her own jet. First sign of trouble, she'll be back in Texas.
Alright, so there are 3 listening posts. The first one we're going to take up
post so I can get a fix on the
take
kidnapper's
care of
cell
is
phone
by
when
the
they call.
airport.
I've identified the best places for the listening posts.
Okay, mercenary. This is US-7.
Nope.
Universal Petroleum
Yeah, well, we
Heli pilot in the air and ready for your signal.
This is going to get hairy, Devlin. You ready to dodge air
So that
fire?
UP symbol on the bottom left
I get danger ping.
was the symbol that we were concealed for the faction. One reason that's important beyond like the automatically negative actions towards you is the fact that you get if you're hostile with the faction who is otherwise friendly, they won't shoot at you if you're in one of their vehicles and you have that disguise thing on. So it makes it a little more simple. Don't worry about the APC here, the Armored Personnel Carrier. I actually think it's really cool that they took the effort to add infantry fighting vehicles and armored personnel carriers beyond just tanks. Oh, I don't think it's really cool how little ammo we have, though. That's not good. Okay, take care of him. Under the Scorpion, take care of this piece of chungus. Yeah, pretty cool anti-air system here. I think it's based off of a Czech model, but I'm not 100% sure. The missiles, of course, are a feature that weren't on that. I think it was just the guns. Let's go ahead and... No, that's not quite what I had in mind. Try and take some ammo here from these AKs.
AK-47, good enough.
There's no one on that weapon! I'm manning it!
Is that enough to destroy it?
No one on that weapon! Hang on!
How about that? That seemed to do the trick. Skip these enemies. Go straight up the next parking structure. Because once you have the listening post down, they can't destroy it, so there's no sense in actually killing everyone around. Unless you want to. I don't feel like it. Nice ramp there, in case you want to do some tricks. There's kind of a bunch of areas around, and one of the things I'm really sad about is that there was once a top 10 tricks video and stunts for Mercenaries 2 that was
Good job.
used Weird Al's Ode to a Superhero song. If any of you are familiar with that, it goes a little like, sling us a web, you're the Spider-Man, sling us a web tonight. And it had some sick stunts in that one. Like dude doing like front flips over collapsing buildings, driving a car into a boat with explosives and making it go off at the right time. Really, really cool stuff. Now this mission, I believe it is technically on a timer, but as long as you're not walking to each objective, you'll be fine. It's also pretty cool. The different areas you go will have different quality cars. Since we're in the city in Maracaibo, it seems to be about medium quality. Caracas, I think, has a bit of a higher end stuff, so like sports cars and whatnot. And if you go to the villas near Caracas, it's all high-end stuff. Now we do have a tank we have to deal with here at this particular zone, but no one is in it? Lol? Huh. Yeah, expect things. Don't expect if you end up playing this. Don't expect your game to be the same as mine. Just mostly because my disc is scratched and it's from 2008, and I played it like 30 times over all the way through. So some things are definitely a little wonky. You'll see that when we try and call in vehicles. That's usually when it gets the worst. Not too many freezes though, so it's usually doable. control.
We need that tank.
Oh no! Don't take the tank.
On my way. Try and stay alive until I get there, eh?
I'll take this. Go over to the last thing.
That's another post. One more to
Alright,
go.
15-minute deadline. So, the tank, you have two options for driving. You can either hold A
When do I get my own Irishman?
to just keep
I
going
had a
forward,
pilot who was working for the DLA.
or you can hold the
Apparently
up
they heard about you.
direction on the left stick.
So, no deal. Still looking.
Yeah, that's too slow. Just do that.
I reckon it's only a matter of time before Solano makes us know.
Now, if you press the honking button when friendly soldiers are nearby, they will get in the car with you and help you fight. And they'll dismount too when you exit the car. It means that you can take advantage of those armored personnel carriers and vehicles with large passenger sizes. Especially when you do the outpost missions, there are going to be plenty of those. This game loves outpost missions. Pretty much every faction is going to have 3 different outpost missions that are going to give you access to submissions, or at the very least, new material. Alright, there's an enemy tank. Hello. So it is impossible to jack tanks until you kill the coaxial gunner, so make sure you do that. It's also pretty funny that not only you as one person controls the entire tank when it typically has like a crew of 3 or 4 in this day and age, but also you can control the tank like it's fine, even if you threw a grenade inside the control area. That must be one sturdy tank to be able to do that. That's all I'm saying. Oh, hello. Yeah, definitely get out of the way of that. Do we have C4? Nope.
On my way. Try and stay alive
Yeah,
until
we
I
don't
get
really
there.
have a way to deal with RPG building just yet, so we're just gonna pretend it doesn't exist and hope for the best. Oh, never mind, we do. But the listening post got delivered regardless, so it doesn't matter.
The kidnappers have called Ruben. She's patching me in. Being unreasonable. We should meet and talk about this in person.
Yeah, I haven't seen a sprint speed this fast, probably since, like, the other game I can think of where you really go this fast is like Borderlands 3. And that game feels like you're running away from a lion, you're sprinting so fast. Just pedal to the metal.
We gave you the timetable.
Now, some games have a really slow sprint.
Leave our country or first this man, then others will die.
Yeah, I don't think they're buying
Quantum
it.
of Solace comes to mind as probably the slowest sprint of any game I can think of. It's pretty much worthless, and you have a stamina system to boot.
So, Ewan, was it?
So you're basically not going to be able to sprint anywhere in that.
Well, you know,
Gears of War has the goofiest sprint,
I'm not Ruben
because
for
you're
you know what I mean?
How'd you like to come
you're
with
like
the mile?
crouch sprinting. However you do that.
Vehicles and ordnance in the
Alright.
field.
I don't know.
So we're going to need to hijack this
Heavily armored on all sides.
this armored car, but I highly recommend doing it when it's not facing the direction of a waterway, because yeah, it should be pretty obvious if it goes in the water, you're gonna fail the mission instantly. Alright, there we go. Successful
No one's
hijack.
paying me to kill you. Count yourself lucky. The oil company's paying me to keep you alive.
It is unfortunate that despite being an armored car, you still take damage from small arms.
Now get him safely back
And
to Universal
for those of you who don't know, small arms are anything that aren't a cannon. So like, typically below 20 millimeter. The biggest machine gun I've found is like, that doesn't count as a cannon, it's probably 14.5 millimeter, and even then you could call it a cannon. Alright, looks like we've finished the mission.
Brilliant.
Just gotta wait for the exec to walk in. And then our friend the Lucky Lady, or our friend in the Lucky Lady is gonna be coming to whisk us away back home.
Hop on in, and I'll bring up the nav map for you.
And I didn't really talk about it, but
Where to, boss?
during the mission there was a negotiation happening where we agreed to hire Ewan as our helicopter pilot. He's going to provide a valuable service in giving us transit to various outposts. He's going to be able to call in anything that we buy.
Excellent.
And he gives us a lead on the mechanic, as well as a way to generate infinite money.
Nice. Fair bit of scratch in this place, isn't there?
And you are?
I am intrigued. But me mum always called me Ewan.
Don't shoot him yet. We need a helicopter pilot.
That's me, miss. You must be her support operative.
She's my partner, Fiona Taylor.
Have you ever flown in a war zone before?
Well, not intentionally.
Then why should we bring you on?
Because I'm charming and clever and the best rotor man in Venezuela.
Well, he's not as charming as he thinks he is, but he's good.
We do need a helicopter pilot. Welcome aboard.
Ewan's a goofball. He loves the ladies, though. That's for sure. Alright. And with that, we'll call our first episode of Mercenaries 2. This was Papa Zappa. I hope you enjoyed. In the second episode, we're going to meet the PLAV, the People's Liberation Army of Venezuela. Until next time, Auf Wiedersehen.